Welcome to the podcast that talks about online dating and relationship advice. Is the grass really greener on the other side? We will find out. Eventually, we will cover why we think we have to settle when in a relationship. We will also discover how to really come together to find the loving relationship we deserve to be in. In this episode, we're going to talk about online chatting with the potential person that we're interested in. We will continue where we left off from the last podcast. And so, welcome back, Lisa.
Thank you. Hi.
Hey, how's it going? How you doing?
That was an uncomfortable pause. I'm doing good. And how are you? Looking good.
Well, I'm good.
Learn to take a compliment.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to learn to take a compliment when you've been through this process of online dating.
Ooh,
so
what a segue.
It kind of knocks you back a little bit.
Yeah. Understandable. I can understand. For sure.
So I was going to continue where, not exactly where I left off, but like from the last podcast, we talked about creating a profile. What do we put in the subject line? What do we talk about?
Right.
We talked about pictures we were said, the do's and don'ts.
We did.
On what irritates you and what irritates me.
Correct.
And what we can do to just help each other.
Mm.
Just to get closer to the person that we're supposed to be with.
Right.
Or that loving relationship, whatever you want to call it.
Either or.
You know, I was scrolling through certain profiles, and I remember a certain instance where I'm scrolling through this profile, and it looks like a match because we like the same things. She liked a lot of music. She was a librarian. She's into research and stuff like that, and I'm into research. I do a lot of research for my job and crap like that. So the pictures were okay.
Yeah. Didn't knock your socks off.
No, they, I wouldn't say that.
Okay. Fair.
I would say at least they're not Photoshopped. They don't have ears on the top of their heads.
Okay.
They're not in a group of people where you can't find, okay, who's she?
Right.
So she was good. I mean, she looked great natural.
Okay.
And we start talking, and we learn about each other. Well, fast forward maybe 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
Maybe 2 months, where I'm remembering on her profile she said she was single. And I learned that she was married. And I'm like, okay, well, that's discouraging.
Yeah, I would say.
So that's another thing that I forgot. It's like, why would you say that you're single when you're really married? And I know that there's a lot of married people out there because I keep on experiencing the same thing over and over again.
Right.
Like, let me give you this one example where I went out on this one date.
Okay.
This one date, she was a gorgeous blonde. And,
Yeah.
and she was a businesswoman, and she wore those tight outfits and the high heels. And I'm like, is she really interested in me?
Oh, jeez.
So we start dating, and we're talking about each other. And within 2 weeks, she invites me to her place.
Okay.
And I follow her.
That's an acceptable time frame, no?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, all right.
Some people say 3 dates.
Oh.
But
Well, you could have 3 dates in 3 days. So,
right. Well, some
know.
people just want to get comfortable.
Sure.
At least on my end. I don't know about your end. I think everybody just wants to get in your pants.
Pretty much.
Really?
We'll go back to that. We can go back to that.
Oh, my God. But, you know, I kind of like to take it at a reasonable pace.
Sure. Okay.
Most of the time.
Respectable. You're
Yeah.
such a gentleman. Continue.
No, I'm evil.
I'm going to fuck you up. Oh, God.
No, but, so going back to this one date. So I'm following her to her place.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, we pull into this hotel. And I'm like, what?
This is interesting.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's like, this is why we had a hotel.
Okay.
It's like, does she want to...
Well, she wants to fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she wants to fuck you, obviously. obviously. But why a hotel?
No, because that's not where my mind was at.
Oh. Well, where was your mind?
But I can understand where you're thinking.
Hotels equal fucking in my life. Well, no, my determination. Well, no. Never mind. Never mind.
No, I see your point. Oh my god, you just got me all
The way fucked up.
screwed up.
Okay.
So we pull up to this hotel.
Hotel, correct.
She tries the key fob to get into the back door, and she can't get into the back door.
So she already had checked into the hotel.
So she goes around into the front, and she goes, "Well, my key doesn't work. Can I change keys or get this fixed?" And she turns to me and said, "Do you want a key too?" And I'm like, "What?" I don't know where this is leading because I'm so naive and stupid sometimes. I'm not thinking.
I've already deduced what the situation is, but I can't wait to hear.
Because I'm not thinking with my penis.
Oh.
Because I'm thinking I want a relationship.
Yes,
I don't
with
want
the sexy blonde with tight clothes.
Well,
absolutely, you do.
Well, I mean, I'm back and forth. I'm not the guy that but you're not going to believe me if I tell you I'm not the guy that just sleeps around.
I believe you. Somewhat. I'm kidding.
Because you have a different perspective that I just don't quite understand.
Right. Well, we can go down that path.
I haven't experienced, guys all over me and just want to be in my pants every 2 seconds, and as soon as I meet them, I don't have that experience.
Right. Well, we could get you that experience if you're interested in that. Okay, I digress.
No, I mean it's.
I understand.
No, because I get spoiled. Because if you have that connection, sex is so much more exciting and so much. Instead of just, okay, let's have sex, let's try it, let's do this. And it's just uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I mean, I'm way past that.
Right.
I mean, I'm not in my, teenage years anymore.
Right. Well, okay.
So,
fair.
It's
fair.
like, when I'm 16 through 19, yeah, sure.
Really?
It's like, I'm horny, I want it 3 times a day, and let's see who's available.
We only have a three-year time span for that. Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think a lot of men your age think they're 20 still. That's the problem, probably. Anyways.
You're only as old as you feel.
Well, no, and there's nothing wrong with that either. I'm just saying their mentality has not progressed. That's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big problem.
Yeah, because even back then, a lot of people didn't want a relationship, and I was looking for something.
Even at 19?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
Because I can do a lot with just one woman.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Care to show me?
No, I'm not going there.
I didn't think so. I had to try. God damn it.
That won't make a good podcast with a lot of heavy breathing, would it?
Depends on who's listening.
No, whatever.
Whatever, I'll fucking fuck you up.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
But
so we're at the hotel. She's offering up her keys, so to speak. Is she moving in with you? Are you moving in with her?
No, because I'm looking at her. Well, as soon as I pull up to the hotel, I'm like, what? And then as soon as she turns to me and says, "Hey, you want a key?" and I'm like, what?
Is that what you really did? If you guys could see, that was awfully cute.
And I'm like, it's like, what do you say to that?
Will you say yes or you say no?
I didn't say anything. I'm like, no, I don't need a key.
Well, that's
I don't know what you're thinking, because
your end goal is.
For me, normal women don't do that.
Normal. Well, normal's subjective, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay. So we go up to her place, and I notice, she has a dog and everything, and I meet her dog, and it's pretty much a regular hotel. I mean, there's a kitchen in the living room and a TV in there, and then a bedroom off to the side. Typical hotel.
Okay, and she has a dog, so we surmised she's living there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's living there.
I mean, she's living there.
Right.
It almost seems like she's living there permanently.
Interesting. Okay.
So I start asking questions because I can't take it. I mean, if you want a relationship, you don't hide things.
Oh, okay. So are we asking questions within this same night?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
So we're upstairs
I'm
and we're sitting down on her hotel kitchen table. I'm like, well, I got to ask you, why are you in a hotel? She starts to tell me. She goes, well, I'm married. Red flag. I didn't know she was married because, again, on her profile says, okay, she was single.
Right.
Okay. And I know men lie, but women lie too.
Evidently.
And it's almost the same experience, and women don't realize that. Because I get feedback. It's like, why are all men like this?
Right.
And they use the word all.
Right.
And I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Right.
It's like
all or never are really bad words.
Yeah.
Neither are true,
I mean, it depends what kind of circles you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And I always use that term, a circle of friends. And like there's business friends that are bad and good. There's ghetto friends that are bad and good. There's people that all they want to do is have sex. There's good people in that area, and there's bad people, and so on and so forth.
Sure, absolutely. Won't argue.
So I'm asking her, why the hotel? And she goes, well, I'm married. And immediately red flag in my head.
Was she uncomfortable telling you this, or was she comfortable with it? Do you remember? Do you recall?
She was nonchalant.
That's what I mean. That's key. So she doesn't care that she lied and was dishonest, and right?
No, she was just justified, and she continues to justify herself by saying, "Well, I just got a divorce, and my husband's an FBI agent. He wants me back, but I don't want him back because I caught him cheating with me with a younger girl." And he continues to chase me, so I'm in a hotel, and a lot of times I change my car. I'm in a rental, and I'm always in a different car every time, so he doesn't track me down. And I'm like, really? All he has to do is look up your last name and see what hotel you're in, or see what rental company that you're going with. A lot of times it's public record. I don't have to be an FBI agent to know that.
To sleuth that out, yeah.
So is she lying to me again or not? So that kind of turns me off. So we've been dating for 2 weeks, and we've been getting closer and closer. I mean, we haven't really kissed or had sex. She did take pictures with me and her, like we were together, and showing her friends and everything else.
Well, that's interesting.
And, she thought that I was cute, and we went to, like, downtown Akron. And there's a brewery down there where you go down into the basement, and they have games, which are pretty cool.
Okay.
And they had this giant Jenga game. And we had a blast just playing that with a couple of other guys.
Okay.
And the couple of other guys were just staring her down. And I'm like, yeah, I'm enjoying this. Because I'm with her.
Exactly, yes.
I'm like, fuck yeah, this is good.
Right. That's a good feeling.
It's like, she seems to be intelligent.
She's good looking.
Yeah, she's fairly good looking and everything else. So, but as soon as she told me that, it kind of turned me off on a lot of things. And she sort of becomes not good looking anymore.
When she said she was married and you didn't know.
Yeah, and she's hiding out with her from her FBI agent husband.
Well, it turns into Dateline or Jerry Springer. Take your pick. So of course that's not the sexiest thing we could think of.
But it doesn't turn into Maury Povich.
Oh,
who's the father?
Sad.
It's like, well, I didn't. Yeah, you're gonna stab me.
Oh, easy.
It's like, what the fuck?
Oh my goodness.
So,
wow.
I kind of switch gears. Instead of getting a stiffy, it falls floppy kind of thing going on.
Okay, thank you for the graphic.
Didn't you like that?
Oh, I actually did. I think I felt a little twinge down below.
Oh. But, so... I kind of dig a little bit further. I ask her more questions to see if she's going to be truthful and stuff like that. And, I get the dynamic where she buys this house with him and she redecorates, and she's showing me pictures of this nice house and nice decoration. Okay. And I'm like, you're doing a great job decorating this house. I mean, the house looks amazing. The way she does it. And
these are old photos of the house?
Yeah, well, it seemed like they were recent, because she's just doing this, and now she has to sell it. the house that they lived in.
Oh, okay, got it. I'm following. Okay, I thought she had gotten back with him or something like this. Okay.
Well, I'm trying to figure that out. Does she really want the chase? Because some of the girls like the chase.
Yes, we do.
So I'm digging, and I'm thinking, do I really want to be in this kind of relationship in between those two? Mm-hmm. And like, if he's an FBI agent and he finds out that she's dating somebody, I mean, I don't care if I get beat up or punched in the face or get arrested.
I'm glad you said that because I'll be punching you later.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care about my well-being. It's just, it's not good for her and her relationship. I mean, if she has a lawyer, he's just going to make it harder for her.
Monopolize.
And I'm thinking about her well-being, not mine.
That's kind after 2 weeks.
Well, I mean, you know.
Jeez. Says a lot about your character.
Yeah, that I'm an idiot. And
that you're a dink.
I make stupid choices.
Oh, don't say that. That's
well,
not fair.
I mean, that's what I think about myself. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just my stupid thinking.
No.
So I decided maybe we shouldn't date anymore. And then her personality changed. She's like, I'm thinking in her head, she's like, why doesn't this guy want me?
Right. Why isn't he chasing
and
me?
And she reinforces it. She goes, well, I can have any guy. And I'm like, no, you can't. You can't have me.
Love it. That's a great comeback.
And I'm and she didn't have a comeback to that.
I'm proud of you.
And I'm like, I don't want to be in this kind of relationship until you get a divorce and get this finalized.
Which is, you're entitled to feel that way.
Yeah, but she
didn't see it that way?
Yeah, she just kept on me. She kept on. All of a sudden, she got mouthy, and she's supposed to be a Christian girl.
Those damn Christian girls.
Well, I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, neither do I. I'm not really sure,
but you know, saying that she's a Christian girl, I expect a certain expectation, which I didn't get.
Kind.
Or at least God-fearing, not mouthy.
No.
I was hoping more understanding.
Understanding, yes. That's a good one.
And she's a businesswoman, so...
She should be able to look at things in a practical way and understand that she lied to you and that you might not want to be thrown in the middle of the Jerry Springer episode, right? We would think.
I don't even know if Jerry Springer's still on.
No, he's not anymore. I love him, by the way. Side note. Jerry, if you're listening, come get me.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
So then I leave her place.
Okay.
You know, I left it as that, and she still kept on texting me. What she liked to do, her favorite thing to do is take selfies of herself.
Yeah.
And send them to me.
To tantalize you, so to speak. Right?
And I'm like, well, sorry, I'm not interested. You know, if you're not divorced, you know, I reiterated the same thing over and over again, and she kind of got pissed.
Of course.
And then she told me something else, where, you know, at one point she told me I was cute and everything else, and, you know, she liked me and I was a great guy, and she invited me up to this hotel, and she flips her switch. And it's like, well, sorry, I can't even talk right now. But
boy, this has got you all the way fucked up.
Yes. She flips her switch. And she goes bipolar on my ass.
Oh, dear. I can't wait to hear what the definition of this bipolar is.
Well, what she does is, we took pictures of each other
said this, yeah.
at that bar. And she said, you know, she sent it to, I don't know if it was her cousin or she shared it with her sister or something like that. And she goes... her sister made a comment that says I look like a child molester.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, that's nice. Well, at one point you thought I was a nice guy and you thought I was cute and everything else, and all of a sudden in this picture I'm a child molester?
Well, that would beg the question, why would she even tell you that? That's such a terrible thing, right? To hear, let alone pass along to someone?
Yeah, I mean, why would that... would that make me... say something to make me want to date you more? Is that
that's what I'm saying. That's the point that I'm trying to make. That's crazy.
It's like, what's the reasoning?
Right. There isn't any.
And why are you still contacting me, showing me pictures? I mean, her car broke down and she's smiling and, hey, this is me, this is my car, I'm waiting for the the tow truck to come, and I'm stuck here, and I thought I'd send you selfies of myself.
Stranded in the middle of bumfuck.
And I'm like, okay.
Alrighty. Well, I think that the child molester comment was because you were still ignoring her, yes? At this point?
Yeah, I wasn't interested until she gets a divorce. And
so that's just lashing out. That's all that is.
It's like she's not saying, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, and maybe, after the divorce, if we're still talking, maybe we can get together again.
Reconnect.
I mean, it's not something like that.
Yeah.
She goes to the exact opposite and gets offensive.
This is right, the extreme, sure.
I mean, would you get offensive?
Would I get offensive? I've been known to be a little bit on the slight offensive. Sure, I can. I'm a human being. I am a chick. I don't think like one, typically, but I am a chick after all. So, yeah, I can see that side of it. I mean, not the crazy side. I don't get crazy. Where's the knife? No.
You don't get crazy. Where's the knife? Like, what the hell's that into?
That's an interesting story. You've got some good ones.
Yeah, but what do you? I don't know.
I don't know either. We're at a loss for words. See you later, guys.
I can't even talk.
I know.
It's like, what the fuck?
Wow.
It's like the whole point is, why don't you be truthful on your profile?
Oh, we circle back to that. Yes. Well, that's what started it, because she was married and she wasn't honest about it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me tell you another story.
Please do.
Something that's my fault.
Oh.
That I did.
Ooh, this will be a goodie.
And see what you think.
Okay, I'll tell you what I think.
Because I'm not. It's not like my shit doesn't stink.
Well, then you know your flaws.
Yeah, I definitely know my flaws.
Okay, good.
But, when I first started dating, I tried out a lot of things. I know not to go to people's houses on the first date. I know not to sometimes give phone numbers, depending if you feel uncomfortable.
Ooh, okay. Different tactics, we'll say, that you've learned. You've learned.
You know how to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Just to be safe. Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of times, I give out my phone number, but you can easily block them.
Sure, absolutely, it's easy.
And stuff like that, so I don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, going back to the story that I told where I sent out 500 emails on Match.com. You remember that?
I remember that, yes.
And I was getting nothing, maybe one out of the 300 emails within 3 months.
Right.
One contact. And I'm like, okay, what am I doing wrong? I'm reading my profile. A lot of people comment, say, you have a great profile, you sound real, and it's kind of a long profile.
Okay.
And if you have like no profile or very short, maybe you don't know if it's a right fit between that person.
Right, okay.
So it's hard to feel them out with just a little bit of text.
Uh-huh, absolutely.
Just to read through. So I was talking to one of my friends, and one of my friends, she's a female too, and she's a little bit on the odd side.
Okay. Would we like to define odd or how or what?
Well, she was older. She's like 45 years old.
Oh, that's old. Okay. Glad to know that, motherfucker.
No, at the time.
Oh, at the time.
At the time, she was older.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
You're getting punched all the way out. Believe me. Believe it.
No, but she was a little odd. But she lived in the country somewhere, off the grid.
Off the grid.
For some reason, she had this government conspiracy where people can track you. She doesn't use a cell phone. She has an old landline. She wants to build a windmill and a solar everything. So she wants to completely be off the grid.
Off the grid, correct. Right.
And I met this girl, and she's like, I don't know.
Oh, this should be good.
It's almost like, if you remember that old show, Beverly Hillbillies. Mm-hmm. And the first part of the TV show, they're in this old shack.
Yeah, uh-huh.
That's what it looked like. Walking up to her house, she's in this old shack with no electricity. I mean, there's gas going in there to heat her stove and everything. There's electric, but it's not. It's not what you're used to. It wasn't ideal. Yeah,
it wasn't comfortable, we'll say.
And I'm like, really?
Oh dear God. Okay.
Yeah, at the time she had a bunch of puppies, and she wanted to show me these puppies and then try to kidnap me.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I added the kidnapping part.
Fantasy of yours?
But no, she was interested in me. I wasn't really interested in her because it wasn't a good feeling.
What, being in the middle of nowhere in a shack with no electricity?
Yeah,
that sounds
it's
ideal.
Like, where's the knife and the gun?
Exactly.
It's like one of these scary movies.
Exactly, right, exactly.
Okay, so we were talking, and she was nice enough to make me dinner, and we had this conversation.
Well, at least she could cook.
And
I mean, she had the capacity
she goes,
to cook.
if you don't have any luck posting your real age, why don't you change your age
Okay.
to younger? And I'm like, isn't that deceiving? Like all the other people with the bad photos and the Where's Waldo photos where you can't find who they are. Or, I mean, anything.
Sure.
And I'm like, why should I do that? It's like, well, a lot of people do that anyways. And so I kind of sat on it, and I'm looking through a lot of profiles, and I went out on a bunch of dates, and there were people, at least women, that actually changed their age. Like there was a person, she looked fairly decent, and she listed that she was 50 on her profile.
Okay.
But she was really 55. Once I started talking to her, she was 55 years old.
Okay. So she admitted to you.
Yeah, she did it, but she didn't look 55.
Okay. Well, okay.
And then there was this other girl. She was, let's see, I think she was really 35 years old, but she listed that she was 29. And at that time, I asked her, well, why did you change your age? And she goes, well, I don't want a lot of older men contacting me, so this will eliminate some of the older men.
Weed them out.
Weed them out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that somewhat makes sense.
Okay.
So I'm seeing a lot of people change their age.
Sure. So you start to think maybe I should after she says.
Yeah, but is that really deceiving?
I mean, it's deceit. Sure, it's deceit. Some people might care about that. Some might not. I don't think it's not an insurmountable thing. It wouldn't. I've had people lie to me about their age too, by like 4 or 5 years. And I do feel like when I find the truth out, I'm like, oh, that's kind of gross. But if you like the person, does it really matter? It's such a small lie. It's not a big lie, right?
Yeah, but it's still a lie, and it's a deterrent. It's
Maybe.
Almost like I'm going back to what a friend told me. She goes, if you lie once, what else are you going to lie about?
Okay, well, you could subscribe to that thought process, surely. But it's just what's important to you. So if you had a really super hot connection with someone, like amazing, and the only little thing was that, is you going to let that rule that the rest of your relationship because she lied about her age? I wouldn't. Wouldn't bother me.
Well, it did bother her.
Obviously.
And that's the one reason why she broke up.
Of course.
With me.
Of course.
Well, I did change my age, and I found that person, and she broke up with me, and that's pretty much the only reason, even after 2 years of dating this girl.
Right, that's a long time.
She drops me, and the only thing that she can pin on me is, well, you changed your age. Well, I look at her profile, and she was single. Now, this was a totally different person than that other person that I met at the hotel.
Oh, okay.
No, but the Cabin in the Woods girl,
yeah,
she told me to change my age.
Right,
so
okay.
I kind of took her advice.
Yes, okay.
And her advice was good.
Yeah.
Because instead of getting a one reply every 3 months, I'm getting multiple.
Yeah, okay, because you're a little bit younger. I guess that matters.
Yeah, but it's still in the realm of my same age, though.
Right. It doesn't matter to me, like I said, but certainly it does to some.
And, I look younger than what I am.
I would absolutely agree.
So, I mean, it's not out of the realm of...
possibility.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's still a little bit uncomfortable, but then I get more excitement. It's like, okay, people like me now.
Yeah.
Where they didn't like me before.
All because of a few short years.
I mean, I didn't change the content of my website. I didn't change the pictures.
Right.
I didn't change the subject line or anything else. It's just the age. And then all of a sudden,
wow,
this is working.
They're coming in droves.
Not really in droves, but it's...
One can dream.
It's at least maybe one a week.
That's better than one every 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 100 times better.
Right, exactly.
So-
Well, that's very interesting. So my retort to that would be, why, if the girl, if you dated for such a long period of time, why on earth would that be a deciding factor in continuing the relationship? I think that's an excuse, maybe among other excuses.
Yeah, well, that's another podcast once we get into the relationship side
Yes.
of things.
Just wanted to put my 2 cents in there.
Yeah. But we'll definitely cover that
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
in depth. But on her end, on her profile, she lied that she was single when she was really married, and I didn't learn that until way later.
Right. So I'm sure when you heard that, you were probably dumbfounded, because that's a huge lie, as opposed to an age, right?
So it's not the same
No.
way. It doesn't
No.
carry the same weight.
No. Not to me. No, it doesn't. No. It is deceit. You're right. It is a form of deceit, but it's small deceit. A marriage is huge deceit.
But is that something to really break up over?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's a litany of excuses. One excuse, probably with tons of others. Whatever her reasoning is what I would say.
Yeah, well, still, I don't, even though I got more attention, I still don't really condone lying on the profile.
Right.
Because I'm going back to these guys who say they want a relationship, like you said, but they really just want sex.
Right.
Which still kind of ruins it for me, who's looking for a real...
Something real, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, that makes it a challenge, because you're few and far between, really. Have we...
Well, I've been telling you a lot of my stories. It's like, I mean, haven't you had something similar or...
I mean, I've had guys lie. I dated someone like for 4 months who turned out to be married as well, and he lied about his birthday of all things, which is very strange. And he also lied about his age. I think he said he was gonna be 50, and he was actually gonna be 54. I mean, to me, it's stupid. I'm just like, why would you lie about your age? He's like, you didn't look his age. It didn't matter. He could have been 60, for Christ's sakes. It doesn't matter to me. But yeah, I've had that. I mean,
You still dated him after that?
I mean, quote unquote dated. Again, he was married, so we saw each other.
Oh, wait a minute.
You could surmise what you will from that. We saw one another, but yeah, that ran its course, because he was definitely a dishonest person in a lot of ways. Those are the 2 major ones.
Oh, so then you dated somebody who was married then?
I did. I did. Yes. Well, I wouldn't say dating. I said maybe we were sleeping together, is what I would say.
Okay.
Don't look at me that way. How dare you?
No. I don't know.
I'm no angel.
Yeah.
We're here for the truth, are we not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of discouraging, though.
Why?
I mean, you weren't married or in any relationship, but it's okay for him to date you while he's married, and now you're the
Mistress.
Yeah, you're the mistress.
Right. Well, that's a very common thread. I mean, it happens a lot.
But then you stayed?
No, I kicked him to the curb. I mean, immediately, because he expressed that he didn't want me to be texting other men and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not happening, because he was married. So I'm like, we can just have fun, and that's fine. He wasn't okay with that, so I said, see ya. But he did come around. You know, I'm human, and I am kind of weak. So if you have a good connection with someone, it is hard to give that up, right? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because it's so difficult to find, which is the whole point of this podcast. So if you find someone that you connect with, it's hard, it's difficult. And yeah, he came back around, and I let him in, so to speak. But
I mean, if he had truly that connection with you, he would have left his wife, did the things that he needed to do in order to be with you.
I agree, absolutely. That makes sense.
But then he didn't.
No, of course he didn't. No.
Okay.
That's a whole other thing. Yeah.
So he wanted his cake and just eat it too.
Of course, a lot of men want that. It's a thing. It's a whole thing. Absolutely, they want that.
Yeah, but see, a lot of my friends don't do that. I mean, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people from both ends who just want sex, or who's in a loving relationship. And I mean, I have tons of friends that who are in a loving relationship and just don't want to stray from their wife, and they're doing things with their kids and productive in their work and their job, and they're having a regular,
trying to do things the right way,
regular life.
Yeah,
they're having fun with their family.
Yeah,
instead of going outside And so that's another problem that I have, where as soon as a man strays
Right.
away from the relationship and seeks out something,
Yeah.
you know that there's something wrong. So
Yeah.
why doesn't he talk to his wife about it? It's like, well, I'm pretending like I'm him, and
Right.
say, well, I have a problem. We don't have a lot of sex,
Yeah.
and we don't have this, that, and the other thing. Well, why
Right.
don't you have that conversation with your wife
Right. And try to fix it.
and try to fix it?
Yeah.
Maybe she's just not there anymore. I mean, you probably don't do the same things as you used to when you were first started dating, like
Right.
give her some roses, or you used to do that, and you used to do this, and you used to be romantic.
Hold hands and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet things.
And maybe you get into that rut where now it's comfortable. Now we're together.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to impress her.
Yeah,
Which-
certainly. Definitely true. Absolutely.
Which I go back to my theory is if you have so many commonalities, you have that excitement of continuing through the life that you have together,
Yeah.
and you enjoy those things, and it's always new.
How
least-
is it always new?
Because you're into collecting art things.
Yeah.
We can get excited about the art.
Okay. Sure.
And that's something new. And maybe some new artist came out with something, or some new movie that presented this artist. It would be new, and we can both get excited about that, and we can both, have fun
Share
with
in
it.
that experience. Yeah. If it's a commonality.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of
And-
people don't want to put the work in, though. It's a lot of work. Relationships are work.
No, see, that's not a lot of work if you have that in common.
Yeah, but if you have other things that are bringing you down,
Well, then you talk about it.
right? Okay, that proves the point of what you're saying. I agree. I absolutely agree.
I don't know, because I hear that all the time. It's like relationships are a lot of work, and it's like, no, if you have these guidelines, then it doesn't have to be.
Interesting. I think that's an interesting perspective. I don't know. I think I might disagree for the first time with you ever. Well, not really ever, but today.
So why would you disagree then?
Because I think they are work. I've been in them. And things just don't always go that smoothly. So you have to work at it, meaning communicate, say what's wrong.
Well, see, to me, that's not work, because you communicate with your friends. That's not work.
Yeah,
you
but those-
communicate having fun at work.
those types of conversations are not difficult. It's easy to communicate when it's fun and light-hearted. When you have to say to somebody that you potentially love or that you love, you're not making me happy, that's a hard thing to say. It can be for some.
Right, but you want to be into that mindset where, what can I do for you today that would make you happy?
Right. I don't know that a lot of people... I've not heard men say that. That's like not a thing.
Why wouldn't they want to care about your feelings?
I don't know. That's a good question.
It's like that saying, happy wife, happy life. But I think of it differently.
Valid.
Happy relationship together.
Yeah.
Then you're happy. If you
Yeah.
communicate,
Yeah.
and you're not, I don't know, insulting, so to say.
Insulting.
It's like, let's say I ask you, let's go back to your relationship with that other guy.
Okay.
And
With the married guy.
yeah,
Okay.
and I'm assuming, he's straying from his marriage because he's not happy.
Correct.
And he's not talking to his wife.
No communication.
So let's say, the typical thing is, well, I don't feel the loving connection with you because we're not having enough sex.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So how do we fix that?
Right. We have more sex. But what if the other party's not interested in sex? Then what do you
Right,
do?
but then she can explain. It's like, well, you used to do this and used to do that.
Yeah.
And that gets me excited and want to have sex with you. So
Right.
why can't we do this?
Mm-hmm.
So why can't you come together to a happy medium?
Right.
Take her out, give her roses. I mean, it's not hard. We all have to eat. We all maybe those two didn't have a lot in common, and they just came together because they came together, or they're staying together for convenience.
I would say financial situation, convenience would probably be. That seems to be the common thread. Yeah, I would say.
Well, that's not a reason to stay together. That's
No.
not gonna
I agree with
happy.
you. I agree with you.
or
I'm
make
not-
you happy.
You'll get no argument from me. I agree with you. Well, you will, but not on this topic.
Where's that disagreement?
I know. Well, I mean, it makes sense. It does. I disagreed with you. I said that it takes work. So we have differing opinions there.
No, it just takes I don't know. This work is such a hard word. I think it takes effort.
Okay, effort's a good word. I don't mind that term. I can get down with that.
It's like I want to have fun. I don't want to argue. I don't want
Right.
to have a difficult time.
Right.
And I can't read your mind. If you're having a problem, come to me and say, I don't like when you do this. It kind of makes me feel bad. And
Sure.
it's like, well, I didn't know that.
Right. You're not a mind reader, are you?
No.
Okay.
Well, I did have that relationship where I knew everything about her.
Uh-huh.
She goes, well, if you know everything about me, then you would know not to do this. And this would be something I didn't know.
So you didn't know everything about her?
No, I did know everything, but I didn't know how she was going to react to something that we never encountered before.
But if you knew everything about her, wouldn't you know what her reaction would be?
No, because I'm sympathetic to her past.
Okay.
I understand what she went through.
Uh-huh.
I know why she doesn't do things.
Right.
And I know why she
does
things.
Yeah, okay.
But in certain situations, I can't predict if she's going to be offended or not, if it's something new.
Okay. Yeah.
I still know a lot of things about her.
Yeah.
But it's just you can't predict reactions or what's triggers for her.
Uh-huh. Right.
In every situation. Mm-hmm. You can't.
Right. That's fair.
She insisted that I should have known.
Yeah.
Like I should have read her mind.
Right. Clairvoyance. Women want that.
Yeah. Man, relationships are a lot of work.
I disagree. I think it's effort more than work.
Oh my gosh, you're so right.
I know. Aren't I, though?
Oh my,
we have some common ground finally.
You're so good.
Oh, I'm good.
No, it's like creating an online dating profile and going through that is a job.
Right. It's work. Is that work? Would we agree on that?
Yeah, that's work.
Okay.
That takes time.
Maybe that takes effort and work, both.
Yeah, well, yeah, that takes a lot of effort and work.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of in and out of the dating thing, because it's really discouraging.
Yeah, I can tell you seem defeated.
I hate it with a passion because, people don't tell the truth, including me. I changed my age and I got caught and I apologized, but it still wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
And you change your age back and you still go back to the rut where you don't get people to contact you at all.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you do?
Right. Either throw in the towel or you just keep on trucking, I guess. Maybe take a break from it. I don't know.
Yeah, but I've taken a break so many times and gone back to it so many times. It's just the same.
Oh, it's just the same.
It's the same thing.
It's just the same.
It doesn't matter what year it is or what decade or, what age you are. It's just the same.
It's just the same. Wow. Same old shit.
Yeah.
Different day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. Aw. Jeez.
Like, what the...
I
because you've had a lot of dates. You've had an online profile.
Yeah, I have.
I'm like, what do you put on your profile?
I would say my profile is bitchy because I've dealt with a lot of bullshit as far as being catfished and stuff. So it's kind of very aggressive, and I don't want to deal with bullshit, and I'm not here to baby you and that sort of thing. Like, show up or don't. Like, I prove you're real, which does a lot of times men can't. I don't know the point of this. Baffling to me.
What do you mean prove you're real? What made you put that on there?
Because I've talked to so many men in the beginning that would send me pictures, and I'm just, trying to look after myself because I don't want to be on someone's couch with a big fat chin on my knee. So I try to find out, like, who you are in the picture, and I'm just like, send me
some fat chin. So you're talking about that date that I described.
That was quite delayed. Yes.
With the lady said, "You want to kiss me, don't you?"
Yeah. I don't. I'm not going to end up in that situation. So, simple. Send me something so that I know you're real. It could be something as simple as write my name on a piece of paper and show me a picture. Send me a video saying, "Hi, I'm real." And it's so.
So you think a lot of men have fake pictures then?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So then how would you know if it's a fake picture or not?
They send me a video saying, "Hey, how you doing, Lisa?" Or they write up on a piece of paper, "Hi, Lisa." And send me a picture.
So they really do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I demand it. I'm not going to Yeah, I demand it. It's a time waster. You put time in talking to people and then they disappear. What's the point of that? Well, because they're not real.
Well, see, I come across some of those things, and it's a little evasive where all of a sudden they want a background check on you.
Oh,
and I'm
geez.
like, well, this isn't a job interview, and, I just want a simple conversation. If we click, then maybe we can go further. I don't want to necessarily,
send out
tell
your
you where I live.
number.
Yeah. It's like a lot of times, okay, what's your address? What's your last
geez.
name? What's your this? What's your that? And all of a sudden, I'm giving her reasons to stalk me because I've been stalked before.
Right. Okay. That's fair.
And it's the same with you. I mean, what if they think that you're not real? Have you ever gotten that?
All the time.
So then what do you do?
I send them a nice little video saying, "Hi, this is Lisa. Can't wait to meet you. Let's see your video." Simple. And a lot of times, well, most 99% of the time, then it's fine. But yeah, I've been in those positions where it's just a complete time waster. And I learned early on, you don't spend weeks talking to somebody and putting in that effort and only for them to not be who they say they are. It's like, what the fuck's the point? It doesn't make sense to me either. I mean, we're all there to meet somebody. So...
Yeah, but now you're going into a relationship not trusting. And is that what you want to do?
Yeah. I mean, no, I don't want to do that, but I want to know that who I'm talking to is a real person. I'm not going to meet up with somebody and have them look like Miss Garage, standing there. I'm not doing that.
Miss Garage. So you're referring back to that other date today.
I am, in fact, referring... I can't get it out of my mind. I'm going to have nightmares about it. Jesus Christ.
That's terrible.
Well, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I'm just protecting myself. Plus, I could meet some kind of maniac or something.
Well, I can meet some kind of maniac, too.
Hey, you can. Sounds like you have. Miss Cabin in... Oh, she's a friend now, so I won't say that.
Who? Miss Cabin
in the Woods.
Yeah, well, yeah.
She's just you said she was odd. That's not a maniac. We're all odd.
Well, she's not really odd. She was just... I don't know. She doesn't have the amenities that we do.
Right. Well, that'd be odd to some.
She has that, the government's after us.
Right, you said that.
And I'm like, well, that's something we don't have in common. So
conspiracy?
Maybe... Yeah, she's into conspiracy things.
Oh, jeez.
The government this and the government that. And I'm like, well, no, I'm into my career. I'm into technology. I'm into art. I'm into music. I'm not into conspiracies.
Well, and being that she's in a cabin in the woods, if you're into technology, I don't think that's a match.
Yeah, exactly.
Made in heaven.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's pretty simple.
So should I have just sent her a dick pic and hope for the best?
That's what I would have done. Funny.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't think you would, unfortunately.
Your experiences, if we can go back to that.
Sure.
What were you talking about?
What was I talking about with regards to what?
The last thing besides, you don't want that chin person.
Oh, well, just the proof. You seem like you're a little bit miffed by that or offended, maybe? But I mean, I don't see offense in that.
I mean, a video's okay.
But a video's fine. What's a video?
If you go beyond, like, what's your address and this
that has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with it at all.
Well,
no.
Women are like that.
Not this woman.
Yeah, because I can send a video, no problem.
Yeah. I'm not asking for them to marry me. I'm not asking where they live. I don't even give a shit. Just I want to know that you're real so that if I continue to talk to you for a week and we meet, I'm not meeting a serial killer at a cabin in the woods. I'm not interested. Well,
right.
I'm kind of, but not really.
Because I know a lot of times people just look up people's phone numbers or their last name and kind of do a check on their own to see who they are.
No, I don't do that. I don't know. That's not of interest to me. Definitely not a sleuth.
But you asked for a video, though.
Because I want to know the person's real. Yes, I do.
Yeah, but you also said that you don't want a serial killer, so why wouldn't you do the sleuth thing, like you said, and almost look up their last name?
No.
And
well, a serial killer could look sexy.
Their Facebook page.
No, I don't do any of that kind of stuff. No.
Why not?
No, I've never been that kind of person. No, I mean, I guess I was years and years ago, but I don't know. I don't. I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I'm surprised that's a thing, actually.
Yeah, for some people. Because I'm sure they've been jaded and they've been...
Right. Yeah, I don't have any interest in someone's activity online or otherwise knowing them for a week or two. I don't care. I just want to know that they're real so that when I meet them, they look... who they sent me a picture of is the person that I'm meeting. That is my main priority. That's all I care about. That's it. Initially.
Yeah, because I, going back to... What I did wrong is, I changed my age because a friend suggested that.
Correct.
And I got some positive feedback, which is nice.
Yeah.
For once.
Yeah, right. You started...
But then, some of the women got discouraged, and I understood that completely.
Discouraged why? Because you were...
Because I lied about my age.
Because you came clean about the age.
Well, I did. I told them, this is how old I am, and... they flipped script or they said, well, I'm not interested anymore. And that's understandable.
Would this be done like immediately upon talking? Like, hey, just so you know, or would you get them interested and then tell them after like a couple weeks or what have you?
Not really necessarily a couple weeks, maybe a couple days.
Couple days. Okay.
It's like, well, now I realize that we like each other and we click on a lot of aspects. I'm going to say, well, I'm sorry I lied to you. I'm really... this and how this old,
okay,
and they just don't like it. Like a couple of them.
What kind of a comments do you get? Like what do they say?
It's like, well, why would you lie? What's the purpose? What else are you lying about? And I'm like, I'm not really lying about anything. They just don't know my story and my background, and how much I struggled just to find somebody to click with, and somebody that's mutually interested in me as I am of them.
Right.
And then, I remember, my friend Ben, who's now passed away. He mentioned it doesn't really matter on age. It matters what you come together on. It's like if you can relate with each other and you're attracted to each other and everything else is in place, it doesn't matter how old you are.
I agree. Sounds like Ben was onto something, I think.
Yeah.
I definitely subscribe to that feeling.
But he also said, he's kind of off the wall himself. He also said that dating is like Pokemon. You got to catch them all. And
I don't know that reference. I'm not a Pokemon. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, that's...
I understand the whatever behind it.
Well, that's the whole song. Like, the Pokemon, there's Ash Ketchum catching all these Pokemon characters. And you just have to catch all these characters, as many as you can. Okay. And that's the whole idea of the cartoon. It's like, let's learn about this character, let's grow in a relationship with this character, and beat up other characters.
Oh, okay. That sounds about right.
Have fun with it.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm going to, be in a bunch of relationships and beat them up.
Yeah, we don't want to go there. Right. That's an interesting way to look at it. Nice little spin on it.
But I told him, I don't want many. I just want one.
Yeah. Well, I think you're a rare bird out there flying, Brian. In my opinion. In my experience.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
No.
It's not a bad thing.
So I guess we'll end this episode, and the next episode we'll get into more of the relationship side.
Oh boy, that should be fun. Lordy. Can't wait. Looking forward.
All right, we'll catch you later.
Bye.